Hi, I'm Diana Estrada with Silicon Valley Digital Magazine, and I am here with Dr. Santalynda Marrero. What would you say are the keys to success in an effort to inspire the Latinas and Latinos that are watching here?
The wisdoms that I can impart, at least in hindsight, and that's always best, and where I am and what I've learned through my work, is that it does require that we get comfortable in our own skin, our own identity. Having been trained as a psychologist, of course, that's an orientation. And that I take very seriously, because I think it's important to bridge and know that then this is who I am, this is how I'm perceived, how do I leverage what I bring to the table, and where do I need to get some direction so that I am branded and perceived in the way I deem respectful to me, and also that takes my career where I want it to go. I felt so strongly about this with a couple of colleagues. I wrote a chapter in a book called The Diversity Calling, Building Community One Story at a Time, which feeds into our values as Latinas. And my chapter is short, it's 15 pages, but it speaks to living multiple realities as a Latina in America. And I was born and raised here in New Jersey, but the point being that you can easily lose yourself trying to emulate. And when I started, there weren't many of each of us to emulate from, and now there are many leaders, and I'd say look for the sponsors, look for the mentors, look for others who you can emulate in a way that carry the values that you carry without losing yourself in the process. That to me is success.
What other skills, like maybe soft skills, did you need to develop and learn?
I think there were, for me, there were three of them. One is being able to present to 1 or 1,000 presentation skills. I think it's very important today, and the world is global, so not only are some of us bilingual, we can be multilingual, multicultural, and those skill sets you may come with and some you choose to enhance. So traveling and working in other areas is critical. I'm part of faculty at the Summer Institute of Intercultural Studies. I met people there that speak 5 languages easily, have lived in over 20 countries, and they're not even 30 years old. So that's how the world has become a thimbleful, and we need to be expansive in that way. And then I think the third one is one that in hindsight I would have done better had I had the mentors or sponsors I tell people go find. And it was that you need to be, I think to a fault, and I needed to work on it, was to really get into my power and into my influence and really work it and leverage it in a strategic way that would have enhanced my career in perhaps a different trajectory. Not that I don't like the one I created, because I launched on my own 15 years ago to my own consulting practice after being internal for 25 years. So that's good. However, what else could have been possible if I could have really leveraged that power, if I could, and why I'm here to do the workshop, and what are our values, and what assets do those behaviors bring in those values, and what liabilities are there when we're misinterpreted or we're not seeing how we're coming across. So having that capability to then better influence and have some power around, and not being afraid to use it and know what that meant in an organization, for example, is very important.
What would be some advice or some tips that we can offer women leaders, and then also young gals and women who really need to have a mentor? How can we come together and gather together so that we can raise the bar?
These type of professional organizations like ALPFA, like Shimba, are just now full, as you can see here, with beautiful women who are talented, who have gone up the ranks, with whom I am humbled as I met last night and we got to meet each other. Create personal boards for yourself that include people who love you and coach you, and family members, but people who are in different walks of life, different career paths, because you can get a broader perspective. And when you meet here, meet with a purpose. It isn't about socializing, and we're very social with everyone. It's about picking the 1 or 2 that you say, I really want to begin to create that relationship so that I can begin to have them see who I am, that they may want to invite me, and that they may want to mentor and sponsor me. And it becomes a mutual connection. And so that takes a strategic piece, plan for your career, and that's what I would recommend. Today there is such an opportunity. There's a panel that is just awesome, and a lot of these organizations across the country and even globally and on the internet can offer you that support.
One more last question. What would be like one advice or 2 tips that you would share with our audience?
Get clear on how you define success. balance your life, and at minimum blend it, because some days, yeah, you can't have it all. You can have it all, but you can't have it all at once, and some things may get off kilter. But look for a blend. Define success in a way that works for you, and revisit that, because it may change as you change. In fact, it will. But make sure it's grounded in who you are at your core, and that you're true to yourself and don't lose yourself. And look for that blend. And for me, it's stay spiritually strong in whatever feeds you and feeds your soul. And I think the path does open up for you as well. I believe.
It does. It does. Thank you very much.